Please welcome Ghazi Al-Ghlili, one of the stars of the film and co-writer of the film. Ghazi, thank you very much. And the star of both of our films tonight, Makram Khoury. We'll let the reunion happen first and we'll ask the questions. Good now, Thank you guys, thank you for a beautiful film. We're going to have a quick conversation and we'll go out for dessert. Tell me where this started for each of you. When you got involved with the screenplay, and then Makram, I want to hear from you how it was presented to you, how you first heard about this.
I was doing another movie with him, which actually was before this. It was a comedy, and we were shooting in New York. And she told me she'd gotten a script from a Palestinian writer, and that she wanted to rewrite it, and she liked what I was doing with my scripts, and so we got together. We rewrote the script together, and it was really that simple. It wasn't very complicated, and I think at that point, after we finished that. She started going to actors that she, had worked with and respected, like Makram.
And Makram, how did she come to you for the first time? Do you remember?
Well, over the period of a year and a half, I knew about it. I was involved, not in writing, but few talks about the film or the character. And that's it. I mean, because I'm a close friend to Hiyam Abbas, so I was involved from the beginning. Yeah.
She gave you an easy role this time. You got to sleep a lot during the...
Yeah, thank God.
Let me ask you, I'm going to dive in a little bit to the next level on this film. One of the interesting sides of this film is that I read about one of the criticisms of the film was that Hiyam Abbas, the great Palestinian actress, was... directing her first feature film, and they felt that it wasn't political enough. And yet I think that's one of the beautiful things about the film, that it's social, it's not political. Is that something that was intentional throughout?
Yeah, Hiyam hates politics. Don't talk politics with Hiyam. She's a very nice person, but when the politics comes out, because I think she's a realist, I think, in a lot of sense. I mean, even while we were shooting the film, we'd run into issues, and for her, she always thinks on a humanistic level, and I think she always thinks that we're all people, and I think it shows in the work, that for her it's politics is politics and human beings are human beings, and she separates the two, and I think that's why you see up there it's a very humanistic story. And again, it's very semi-autobiographical, and I know when I was writing it with her, I mean, a lot of stuff came from her personal life, like Hajar is really Hiyam when she was younger, and she did rebel against her family. Her uncle threatened to kill her, came looking for her, didn't find her that day. So it's like, she internalizes a lot of stuff and she puts it out there. In terms of the politics, she doesn't like to pontificate. So to make a long story short, Hiyam would rather just show us rather than tell us, because I think politics is telling most of the time in film.
And I think this really humanizes the whole story by having these by showing just people and day-to-day life, and the essence of every Palestinian in Israel is not constantly the conflict, but rather their family issues. Which brings me, and maybe Makram, you could help on this a little bit. One of the other things I found in this film is that there's a lot of breaking of tradition in this film. I feel like this film is, in some ways, the big decision at the end is to break with tradition, which is quite controversial.
Absolutely.
And
it was aimed. I mean, it was intentional. Otherwise, we artists, if you don't revolt against traditions, sometimes they are good, sometimes they are bad, but we need to progress and to join the world in its progress. So we can't keep, the past holding us. That was intentional, of course.
It's extremely brave of her.
Yeah.
I mean, both she's a woman, she's an Arab woman. To have an Arab movie with so much sexuality, so much rebellion, that it really supports standing up against your family traditions.
That's right.
Have there been reactions in the Arab world to this?
I don't know. I don't know where.
No, I mean, this is the
they
first
show
time
me.
I'm seeing it with an audience. I know you saw it in Haifa, right? This is the first time I've seen the movie. I didn't make Venice because I was doing reshoots on my other movie, and it's the first time it came out in France. This is the first time I saw it with an audience. It was cool to hear some of the jokes, the few jokes that I've written that made it in. I can tell you later upstairs. Yeah.
Actually, it hasn't opened yet in Israel in cinemas.
Oh, okay.
No, not yet.
Because I know we got
It
distribution there,
was
but I don't
only
know what
at
happened.
the Haifa Festival.
Yeah.
Hoping that next year it will be in distribution. So, but the reactions from during the Haifa Festival, we had 2 showings, and it was really fine. You know, the Arab audiences in Haifa are very, very open and you know, you could say modern.
I was there for one of them, and they definitely applauded everything she did there. I want to open it up to a couple of questions from the audience.
I was just wondering if the movie could have been exactly what it was without the war with Lebanon. I really didn't know what it added to the movie. And if you had that, you know, you could have had rockets, Hezbollah rockets landing in Israel. It wouldn't have changed the movie, I don't think.
Maybe, but the intention was that our life, our daily life, we could have a lot of dramas in our daily life, family dramas, you know, and the war is there. I lived the war. I was in Haifa when the rockets fell down. So one day, you know, you have rockets, 2 days, no rockets, but life goes on. We are used to this kind of life, even with the war. And of course, it was intentional. In spite of everything, we go on and we live and we have our little stories and dramas in life.
I think in some ways it's the most realistic depiction of war in Israel, where in Israel and within the Palestinian community too, when a war is going on, in probably the view of the world and the way the news would see it, you'd think that all the people are doing are fighting during the war. But actually, war is always in the background of the day-to-day life that exists, and the humans that live there actually are the ones that are going on with the reality, not just the soldiers.
This is our drama. Unfortunately, we got used to it.
I'll take another question up here.
I know you're actors, but you seem to have such a genuine affection and respect towards each other. Can you talk about your friendship? Are you friends?
It's really funny because, you know, sometimes you act with actors. I've done a few films, not many, but that don't give back. But it's the first time I was acting with Makram, and we worked in rehearsal. I sat in on his rehearsals. I didn't really act with him too much. But I tell you, I would wake up. I mean, you don't know this, but I would wake up. I'll be like, today's my Makram days. You know, he's a vegetable. How am I going to get this out? And it's like even as a vegetable, he was giving me so much, more than like, won't say other actors' names, but it was just awesome. Like, it was just really great. I was like, it was a high for me. He's just an unbelievable actor. You have no idea. This is Makram Khoury, you know? Come on.
Just to embarrass Makram a little bit more, he just won the Israeli Oscar for Best Actor.
Thank you.
And that was for you've had so many films this year. I forget which film it was for. It's for Magic Men.
Magic Man.
For Magic Men, where he plays a Greek or a Holocaust survivor, basically, who goes back to Greece, and a story with his son, who is an Orthodox man. Fascinating, beautiful, funny film.
Wow, what a way to trick the Israelis into giving you an award, huh? Play a Holocaust survivor? That's a good one. Woo! All right, Makram.
We're going to take one last question up here.
I noticed the subplot where there were the Christian Arab family who were upset because her daughter married a Muslim. what is the conflict? I mean, it might be a Jewish person marrying a non-Jewish person, but you sometimes think of Arabs as kind of a monolith. Everybody who's Arab is Arab, and yet there's all of these other little divisions.
Oh yes, oh yes. It's like, you know, a Jewish girl would marry a goy. It's the same problems. It's the same problems. That's our tragedy. I mean, that's our. I don't know. I don't believe in it. I believe I'm an atheist person, secular. I believe in openness, mixed marriages. We're all human beings, but we have these problems in between the Arab society. A Druze can't marry even a Muslim. Not to talk about Christian. And if a Druze marries someone else from the religion, they'll ban him. The Christian society, the same. She marries a Muslim, you know, or a Muslim. With the Muslim society, it's always okay because always the Christian could convert, or the Jewish could convert to Islam. But still, there is a lot of fractions, a lot of problems, and unfortunately, this is how we live there, you know. But we believe in progress, we believe in openness, and we will do the change.
Just to close up, you know, there are so many Palestinian films that are completely in reflection to Israeli society, and here you really get a depiction of a culture that is completely independent of Israeli society and is living within Israeli society in its own crazy way, but as people, just as their own culture. And I think that's really something that hasn't been depicted before that I've seen on the screen.
Interesting that you noticed.
I saw it twice, it helped. Folks, first of all, thank you so much to Akram and Ghazi.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Continue the conversation upstairs.